people have to live in unity.
We are still in transition.
Civil society has been decimated.
Of course, we rely on media.
And I think the government has not done enough.
The international community has failed to respond.
No place in the world is perfect.
Hello viewers, I am your host Shivangi Mishra with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. At the recently concluded Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2024 in India's Gandhinagar, leaders, innovators and investors from world over came together to witness a global spectacle. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the summit exemplified a commitment to economic growth, resilience and global collaboration. The theme of the summit was Gateway to the Future, which refers to the simple convergence of ideas that will shape the future. Have a look at this groundbreaking event.
The much anticipated Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2024 was recently held in India's Gujarat state with an aim to boost business alliances, forming strategic partnership and to promote sustainable development worldwide. Leaders from across the globe participated in the three-day summit, which added to its international flavor. The summit demonstrated a dedication to global cooperation, resilience and economic growth under the leadership of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was more than just a meeting. It was a congregation ground for ideas that would shape the future. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a strong pitch to woo global investors to the world's fastest growing economy, saying there are new opportunities across sectors and regions for mutual prosperity.
People-centric development.
While highlighting that India's economy has shown momentum and resilience despite geopolitical troubles around the world, PM Modi invited investors to be a part of its growth journey in the future.
The world looks at India as an important pillar of stability, a friend who can be trusted, a partner who believes in people-centric development, a voice that believes in global good, a voice of the global south, an engine of growth in the global economy, a technology hub for finding solutions, a powerhouse of talented youth, and a democracy that delivers.
The three-day mega event, which was based on the theme of Gateway to the Future, witnessed several path-breaking initiatives and decisions. Leaders discussed strategies to boost global economic growth, enhance financial stability and promote inclusive recovery. Indian PM Modi's pitch at the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit comes months before he seeks a third term in national elections, in which the economy is a central issue, and also as global businesses look at India to diversify supply chains beyond China. He also highlighted that world looks at India as a powerhouse for talented youth, a technology hub for finding solutions, and a democracy that delivers, and the country is on its way to becoming the third largest economy in a few years. During the summit, Adani Group chairman Gautam Adani said that Indian conglomerate Adani Group will invest $24 billion in 5 years in the green energy and renewable energy sectors in the western state of Gujarat.
Over the next 5 years, the Adani Group will invest over rupees 2 lakhs crore in Gujarat, thereby creating over 100,000 direct and indirect jobs.
PM Modi, on the sidelines of vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, also held many bilateral engagements with world leaders and investors. The summit provided a unique opportunity for networking, dialogue, and the exploration of potential collaborations between Gujarat and various countries. The plans were announced during the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, where thousands of chief executives, investors, and diplomats have gathered for the 3-day biennial event.
We discussed about our investment in India, expanding it. We are acquiring industrial lands. We are going to put manufacturing ourselves. We will invest in manufacturing in various areas in India. We are actually going to move some of the high-tech industry somewhere where we have today to India, because India has better facilities.
Indian Prime Minister opened the vibrant Gujarat Global Trade Show and toured the pavilions, including International Pavilion, E-Mobility, Smart Infrastructure and Innovation Decade, with Mozambique President Filipe Jacinto Nyusi and Timor-Leste President Jose Ramos Horta. From dynamic sessions on technology and sustainable development to a bustling exhibition, the event showcased some cutting-edge innovations. The summit served as a melting pot of opportunities for global investors.
After overwhelming victory in general elections, Sheikh Hasina is extending her rule in Bangladesh. However, the country's main opposition party, BNP, chose to boycott the election. Therefore, political analysts believe that Hasina is going to face mounting challenges at home and abroad. How she handles them will be decisive not just for Bangladesh but for South Asia. Take a look. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina swept to a 4th straight term in power, with her party winning almost 75% of the seats in a general election. The main opposition, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which participated in the 2018 vote but kept away in 2014, boycotted the polls after Hasina refused its demands to resign and allow a neutral authority to run the general election.
Our country is the sovereign.
Hasina, on the other hand, celebrated her win and dismissed the opposition's criticism of the election as illegitimate during a news conference.
এবারের যে নির্বাচন, এই নির্বাচনটা আরো একটু ব্যতিক্রমী। সাধারণত আমরা আমাদের দলের থেকে বা সব দলগুলি তারা তাদের প্রার্থী নির্বাচিত করে দেয়। এবার যেমন আমি আমাদের প্রার্থী নির্বাচিত করেছি, পাশাপাশি এই নির্বাচনটা উন্মুক্ত করে দিই যে যার ইচ্ছামতো দাঁড়াতে পারবে। এবং আপনারা দেখেছেন একটি দল তারা হয়তো অংশগ্রহণ করেনি, কারণ তারা কখনোই করতে চায় না, কারণ সেই দলগুলি যারা মিলিটারি ডিক্টেটরের হাতে তৈরি হয় আসলে তারা নিজেরা চলতে পারে না, তাদের কোনো জনসমর্থন থাকে না, তাই সরাসরি নির্বাচনকে তারা ভয় পায়।
In the news conference, Hasina said that a party's lack of participation in elections did not imply the absence of democracy. Playing down the boycott, Hasina referred to BNP as a terrorist party.
The election took place, they couldn't stop it, they tried their best to do it, but they didn't. So how do you define that? You never mention about that, how many people they killed till now. It is not only this year, 2013, 2014, 2015, they did the same thing. More than 3,000 people burned down, 500 were killed, and still people are suffering in the hospital. So how do you define that they are a democratic party? They are a terrorist party. It is terrorist activities.
Hasina said that her aim for the next 5 years was to boost the economy. However, political and economic experts in Bangladesh believe that Sheikh Hasina has to face tougher and more uncertain new term. Dr. Debapriya Bhattacharya, Dhaka-based economist and public policy analyst, spoke about the main challenges Hasina faces in her new term.
Because of the absence of the mainstream opposition parties in the election, the new government will have great challenge in terms of establishing its political legitimacy. And in the eyes of the civil society, I think it will also be questioned in terms of its moral legitimacy. So from that point of view, we haven't had an election. And we will see for quite some time the debates around the election, how it has happened, what had been the actual voter turnout rate, to what extent there had been false voting or rigging.
Amid geopolitical slugfest, India is closely monitoring the events unfolding in Bangladesh. However, for India, Sheikh Hasina has proved to be a reliable ally, as under Hasina's leadership, New Delhi's security establishment has received cooperation from Bangladeshi agencies. The two nations have maintained steady diplomatic relations over the years. India's link with Bangladesh are civilization, cultural, social and economic. India helped Bangladesh in the country's 1971 liberation war against Pakistan. Moreover, Hasina had spent 6 years of her life in exile in India following the assassination of her father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Hasina resided in Delhi with her children under an assumed identity. Therefore, as the polling began, Hasina called New Delhi a trusted friend while highlighting India-Bangladesh ties. Hasina did not just acknowledge India's role in her nation's freedom, but also thanked the country for keeping her safe at a time when she was going through one of the most difficult stages of her life.
India is our tested friend during our liberation war. They supported us. Not only that, after 75, when we lost, we two sisters, you can see, when we lost our whole family, father, mother, brothers, everybody, only we two survived. So they gave me shelter. So we have our best wishes to the people of India.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Iran will strengthen cooperation with regional countries to jointly fight terrorism. Its foreign ministry spokesperson Nasir Kanani said at a press conference in Tehran on January 8 in response to deadly bomb blasts in the southeastern city of Kerman on January 3. Kanani said terrorism is a common threat to the world and the remnants of extremist organizations are still threatening regional people, and Iran will strengthen counter-terrorism efforts with regional countries. At least 84 people were killed and 284 others injured in the twin bombing on January 3 near the tomb of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in Kerman, when people gathered to commemorate the 4th anniversary of Soleimani's death in a US drone strike. Pakistan's Supreme Court on January 8 scrapped lifetime bans on contesting elections for people with criminal convictions, paving the way for Nawaz Sharif to run for Prime Minister for a fourth time. While Sharif, 74, was not an applicant in the latest Supreme Court case, the ruling makes him eligible to contest the polls as more than 5 years have elapsed since his conviction for dishonest practices. Sharif's party, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, is considered a front-runner to win elections scheduled for February 8, with Sharif's main rival, former Prime Minister Imran Khan, in jail and barred from contesting for 5 years. Britain's Princess Anne on January 10 met with Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe in Colombo, marking the royal family's first overseas tour of 2024. The Princess Royal and her husband, Vice Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence, were on a 3-day visit to the South Asian nation to commemorate 75 years of diplomatic relations. As part of the trip, Princess Anne visited sites of religious significance and met local communities and civil society representatives. The Prince's engagements also included meetings with businesses and charities and a visit to non-governmental organization Save the Children Sri Lanka.
Moving on, Maldives' anti-India game at the behest of China backfired. The road took an unexpected turn on social media and the hashtag boycott Maldives started trending. Facing the backlash, the Maldivian government suspended 3 deputy youth ministers for making derogatory remarks against PM Modi. On the other hand, India summoned Maldivian ambassador and expressed its serious concerns. Several Indians have cancelled their trip to Maldives. Moreover, Maldivian president is now compelled to beg China for tourist boosts amid a spate of cancellation of reservations by Indian tourists. A report.
Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu won the election in September 2023 on the back of his India Out campaign. Since his victory, Muizzu, who is known for his tilt towards China, intensified his anti-India rhetoric. He vowed to send Indian troops out of the country despite the fact that there is not even a single Indian troop stationed in Maldives. India has only crews and technicians for its patrol vessel. 2 ALH helicopters and a Dornier aircraft are used in Maldives for rescue, medical evacuation and other specific missions. However, taking one more step against India, some Maldivian ministers posted derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Modi after he visited islands of Lakshadweep. But within hours, Maldives' anti-India game at the behest of China backfired. The road took an unexpected turn on social media and the hashtag boycott Maldives started trending globally. Facing the backlash, the Maldivian government suspended 3 deputy youth ministers in the Maldives, Mariam Shuna, Mahzoom Majid and Malsha Sharif, for making derogatory remarks against PM Modi. On the other hand, India summoned Maldivian Ambassador Ibrahim Shahib and expressed its serious concerns.
Absolutely deplorable, the comments which are coming out from sections of Maldives. Also, let's remember, it's not everyone in Maldives is criticizing India. There is one section which is anti-India, which seems to be, and which is passing such remarks. It's absolutely deplorable and absolutely, of course, see, India not only helps the economy of Maldives through our tourism, right? We also provide them security. If you remember, way back in 1988, there was a coup in Maldives where India sent its forces and within hours the coup was stopped. So for the national security of Maldives, India is the neighbor right across. As well as there have been times when there was an acute water shortage in Maldives. You know, even being an island, drinking water is a problem. So there was an acute shortage and India sent, our aircrafts and our navy with bottled water.
As soon as the offensive comments surfaced, several Indians started cancelling their trip to Maldives. Several Indian celebrities urged their fans to visit Lakshadweep Islands as an alternate to Maldives. Amid the row, the Indian online travel company Ease My Trip also decided to cancel all Maldives flight bookings.
Our company recently has decided that we will not promote and we will not take further bookings of Maldives from India. There are about 3 lakh passengers who fly every year from India to Maldives. So we are letting go of this business as an opportunity to promote our homegrown destination like Lakshadweep.
Tourism is the largest foreign exchange earner for the Maldives, with India and Russia sending the most visitors, around 209,000 each last year. According to data released by the Maldives Tourism Ministry, India remained the largest tourist market for the country in 2023. Hence, facing the backlash following diplomatic row, Maldives' top tourism body condemned the comments made by the ministers and appealed to ease my trip to reopen flight bookings. Moreover, Maldivian president was compelled to beg China for tourist boost amid a spate of cancellation of reservations by Indian tourists. The president's appeal came at a time when Israel pitched for promoting tourism in Lakshadweep, endorsing calls for exploring Indian islands amid the row. Geopolitical experts believe that the Maldives cannot afford to distance India. Former sports minister of the Maldives, Ahmed Mahlouf, has already expressed concern over the row, saying that Indians boycotting the Maldives will hit the country hard. Some Maldivian ministers have also called for no confidence motion against the government for making anti-India comments. However, the new president of Maldives has declared that China remains one of the closest allies and development partners of Maldives. Maldives and China signed 20 agreements after Muizu-Xi meet amid diplomatic row with India. With an aim to demolish India's influence, China eyes closer ties with the Maldives. The strategically placed Maldives with a host of islands is significant for expanding Beijing's influence in the Indian Ocean region.
The protest against Pakistan's atrocities on Baloch people has reached the White House. Members of the Baluchistan diaspora recently staged protests outside the White House against Pakistan. Moreover, the activists from Baloch, Sindhi and Pashtun community in Canada and Germany also participated in demonstration to express their solidarity with thousands of protesters who are raising their voices in Pakistan against the extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. Our report. Last year on October 29, 20 years old Balaj Mullah Baksh was abducted from his home in Baluchistan's Turbat by men in civilian clothes. His family filed a missing complaint with the police but did not hear for nearly a month despite protests on the street. He was eventually presented in a court in Turbat on November 21. Balaj looked weak, as if he was beaten and threatened. 2 days later, the family came to know that Balaj had been killed in custody. His death contributed to the escalation of protests in Baluchistan and marches to Islamabad. Led by Baloch activist Dr. Maharang Baloch, thousands of women and activists marched to the capital city, Islamabad. While leading the protest against extrajudicial killings, Maharang is facing both physical and mental torment by Pakistani security forces and establishment. Still, a large number of Baloch families are participating in the sit-in protest for the safe recovery of missing persons in the Islamabad. Now, the protest against Pakistan's atrocities on Baloch people has reached the White House. Recently, members of the Baloch diaspora protested outside the White House against Pakistan. They raised questions about the enforced disappearances of Baloch people in Pakistan. One of the protesters and a former speaker of the Baluchistan Assembly, Wahid Baloch, highlighted the atrocities in Baluchistan.
आज जो है पाकिस्तान की 75 साल की जो एट्रोसिटीज़ बलूचिस्तान में हो रही है उनके खिलाफ यहाँ पर आकर हम एहतजाज कर रहे हैं और हालिया दिनों में पाकिस्तान में बलूच ख़वातीन और उन जिनके ख़ानदानों को जो है अगवा किया गया है, जबरी गुमशुदगियाँ हुई, उनके साथ यकजहती कर रहे हैं जी। तो ये जो है बुनियादी मकसद है यहाँ पर एहतजाज का, कि बलूचिस्तान में पाकिस्तान पिछले 75 सालों से जो है मुसलसल कब्ज़ा किए हुए हैं और जबरन जो है लोगों को उनकी ज़िंदगियों से, उनके इंसानी हकूक़ से, सियासी हकूक़ से, जमहूरी हकूक़ से महरूम किया हुआ है।
Seeking an end to the Baloch genocide in Pakistan, the protesters sought intervention of the Biden government in the matter. A young Baloch, Sami Baloch, said that whatever happened to Baloch people is atrocious and a violation to human rights.
I'm here today because there's a Baloch genocide happening, and it's been happening since partition, and Pakistan annexed Baluchistan in 1947, and we're here today because many Baloch people have been murdered and they have been genocided and kidnapped by the Pakistani army and military. And today we're here to stand with Baloch people that are still in Baluchistan, that weren't sent here in exile, and we're here to stand with them and to stand with those families because what is happening is atrocious.
The diaspora nations of Baloch, Sindhis and Pashtuns in Canada recently called for a demonstration to express their solidarity with the thousands of Baloch protesters. The joint protest called by the Baloch Human Rights Council of Canada, World Sindhi Council and Pashtun Council Canada condemned in the strongest terms Islamabad's apartheid policies of violence and repression against the oppressed people. The Baloch National Movement Germany chapter also staged protests in solidarity with missing persons.
Pakistani atrocity, despite of addressing their genuine grievances, they have been using force to crush this movement. And today we are here to express our solidarity with them, and our purpose is here to tell the world that there is a systematic genocide going on in Baluchistan committed by the Pakistani security forces. But the entire world is unknown to this grave humanitarian crisis in Baluchistan, and it is our responsibility to tell the world, and it is the responsibility of the civilized world to take initiative to stop this humanitarian crisis in Baluchistan.
Thousands of Baloch people have been abducted in Pakistan. This includes women and innocent children. A number of Baloch activists have accused China in the past for increased violence in the region. They say Pakistan army is just paving way for the China-Pakistan economic corridor, which the Baloch have opposed vehemently. Pakistan has taken billions of dollars in loans from Beijing and is obliged to do what the latter demands. Baloch say a region where poverty is already widespread due to state policies cannot even expect its future when both China and Pakistan will plunder it together. The worldwide Baloch protests are posing serious challenge to Islamabad. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye and take care.
People have to live in unity.
We are still in transition.
Civil society has been decimated.
Of course, we rely on media.
And I think the government has not done enough.
The international community has failed to respond.
No place in the world is perfect.